I'm quite fortunate in the fact I can just walk up to my college and borrow equipment. But not everyone can do that. And if you're not used to the prices and how it works, cameras and filming equipment can start to get quite expensive, as demonstrated by everything really. Companies get greedy, so they increase the profit margins, and we're here left penniless. So if you're a budget filmmaker, what do you need to get the shot? Well, today I'm going to walk through all of the equipment that I have that's cheap but effective. So let's get right into it. So the first thing you're going to need is a camera. That's the standard bare bone thing you'll need. It's like the spine of your work. So if we go right back to the roots, when I first decided to buy a camera, what did I get? I got a Canon 600D. That's this thing right here. If I just take this off, there you go. That's your bare bones camera. That cost me £200 second hand. And I bought a lens. This lens cost me £40. So we're at £240 for the camera. Now this lens is a very, very cheap lens. Only autofocus. There's no image stabilization or anything, so you are going to be stuck. But if you want to get into filmmaking, this is a great setup to have. You can get other lenses. This is my latest lens. This is the Tamron 16-300. Currently, it is broken. I dropped it and I cracked it right there. So this was my lens. This cost me £250 second hand. So that's pretty much half price, and it was mint condition. But I do recommend spending the majority of your money on a lens. One with a decent range. L lenses are good. To film this, I'm using a 24-105 f4L lens on a 60D, both of which I have borrowed from my college, and it is being filmed on a £50 Amazon Basics video tripod, and it's very good. I do recommend getting it, but it is very heavy. Now, once you have your camera, you're going to soon realise that in video mode, having that screen on and the shutter locked up all the time for your video, you're going to need more batteries. So I also recommend getting a battery grip. This cost me 30 quid with 2 batteries, and it just slots right in to the bottom of your camera and then locks on and utilises the tripod mount to lock itself on. And it's got a tripod mount at the bottom. It also has a slot so you don't lose your battery door, so that's very useful. So there's your full camera setup. That in total is £270 I think. Extra batteries, always great and handy to have. I have 4 extra batteries are essential. The battery grip came with 2 batteries. It's a Niwa one. Which is why it was so cheap. So you have 2 batteries, that's roughly 2 hours of constant shooting with the camera on and the screen on. So I have 4 spare batteries. Now, third-party batteries work very well, and there's no need to get official manufacturer branded batteries. So don't get third-party ones. They cost around a £5 each. It is worth it. Now, the battery grip that I bought did come with an attachment that you can slide in that uses 6 AA batteries, which is also very useful because rechargeable batteries are very effective and easy to use and are a must-have for everything. They always come in so handy. Duct tape for any shoot, very useful. I don't know what I would do without it. I use it all the time, whether it's for markers, hold things together that break, or anything. With my chemical burn scene remake from Fight Club, we would have been stuck if I didn't bring that, because we needed to border up the windows with cardboard. Blue tack is another very handy tool to have. You can hold on filters for the front of your camera if you don't have a filter ring or a filter holder. If something doesn't fit on your hot shoe, you can use blue tack. And it basically acts like tape, just different. Now, SD cards are very handy to have. SD cards are a must-have, especially when you're shooting with cameras like this. Now, I have 4 SD cards in total. I've got 2 4GB class 4s, and I use them for chintzy photos that I just feel like taking for family memories, because they're cheap and they work. And then I have 2 64s. I've got this one, which is a micro SD. I can use it in my phone, which I have used for 4K videos in the past. So I'll just take it out and I'll put it in my phone. Currently on this one, I am using a 64, which I bought for £15. And I don't think I have one in here. Oh, I do. In here I have another 4GB one. So there's all of my SD cards right there in this room. Now, my phone, very useful indeed. I can contact people, and it has a 4K camera. Now, 4K camera, great for 4K video. It has excellent low light performance, and if I need to snap something quick and my main DSLR isn't turned on, it works great, and I can use SD cards on it. I also have a tripod mount for my phone. Very handy indeed, because I can use my phone on a tripod. Now, moving on to tripods, this is my cheap £15 Amazon Basics tripod. This is a very cheap tripod indeed. This was supposed to be a comedy disposable tripod that I just wouldn't care about, but it's actually come in very handy, especially with my Plymouth video where I do a review of the camera I'm using now, the 60D. It's very lightweight, so I needed to hold it down, and it actually did blow away in the wind that day. It was a very unusually windy day. Body caps and lens caps, I always use them to hold my SD cards in. So I have a rear lens cap, some SD cards, you put them in, and then you get your body cap, and you've got a handy little case for your SD cards, and I take that to college with me. Now, my Samsung memory stick, this is great, waterproof, shockproof, everything proof. I can plug it into my phone, so I can download videos and everything onto it, and then plug it into my computer later. That comes in very handy. Now, for long exposures and remote shooting, I have this cheap 99p shutter, and it plugs into the side, and here you got a shutter button, and it's got a thing you press and it holds it down for recording video and long exposures. I'm a sucker for long exposures, trust me. You'll probably find out with all of my camera reviews I will do at least one long exposure. Now onto my final 2 must-haves, and that's an AV cable for the camera. I say AV, it's also a mini USB. On the camera it's called AV, and that's to plug into anything like your phone or the back of your computer or anything, and it saves you taking out the SD card. But it's also great if you need to use something as a monitor and you don't have a HDMI cable available. And finally, an OTG connection. That allows you to use anything that's USB on a micro USB attachment. Now this is great because let's say I wanted to use my camera AV cable. I can quite simply plug that into the side, and then that can plug into my phone just like that, and immediately my phone will turn on and tell me that I have a 600D connected, and it will download all the pictures onto that. So it's like having Wi-Fi on your camera, but it's a cable. Who needs Wi-Fi now? But yes, this is my whole entire setup, other than the microphone I'm using. Microphone's very important. I do recommend getting one because the internal audio on your camera is rubbish. Currently I'm using a Takstar microphone that was sent to me for free. I believe I've done a review of it. But everything that has a link in this video will be linked down in the description, including videos that might help you and other handy tips. So that concludes my video. Any ideas for short films or videos you want to see, put them down in the comments. I'll give you full credit, and I will also make the idea when I'm short of ideas.